to the untrained eye, is just a simple sphere. To billions of us, it carries our stories, our memories, our joy. It has no oceans and no continents, and yet entire nations revolve around it. It isn't a planet. It is something much bigger. It is cricket. If you're a cricket fan living in the US, there's one question you've been likely asked by Americans more times than you can count. What is cricket? And when you ask them what they know, it was most likely something like,
They're little black bugs. And there's also a sport that they call cricket. That's about all I know.
Okay, I do know that it's a sport, and I think it's got a ball and like a paddle.
I think there's like cricket bats and they're kind of curved, right?
Isn't that the one with the mallet that you like hit a ball around or something? I think, maybe.
It's like a European sport. I think it's like really cool. It looks cool. I never played it before.
I know there's like a bats of sorts, ball, but I know nothing about the actual sport itself.
I tell people, you guys know baseball? They're like, yeah, baseball. And I'm like, yeah, baseball evolved from cricket. So they're like, really? I said, yeah. So cricket's the parent game. Baseball evolved from cricket. Sort of the basic big concepts are the same, runs, and innings and stuff like that. But that's where it ends. And then everything just falls off the map after that. So, and then you start explaining and you give up, and yeah, that's that.
Baseball, you can only hit in the front and the V. Here, one is you hit 360. And the pitcher, the bowler, can obviously do more variations. You bounce the ball, you can be full toss.
I would say for cricket in relative terms, yeah, absolutely. It's as close to rocket science as possible.
and when they still don't understand, we sometimes just say,
here's the thing, if you don't like cricket, you never need to say to people who like cricket, cricket's a stupid game. We f***ing know it's a stupid game. We know it's ridiculous to spend 5 days watching one match in a sport that is the equivalent of baseball having unprotected sex with a whole library. We know.
If you live in the US, you've probably heard, oh, you mean the sound outside at night? And technically, yes, that is a cricket. But ours wears pads, carries a bat, and in half the world gets more airtime than the Super Bowl. We know that cricket is the second most popular sport on earth. Billions of fans, entire countries that schedule life around it. Although, somewhere in America, someone is still asking, wait, really?
Just like soccer, cricket has a huge global following. It's the second most popular sport in the world.
Yes, really.
Ali Khan got a thick edge, no slip and play.
You can actually see the moment it clicks. or doesn't. They nod, they squint, they reach for Google. How long is a cricket match?
I'm going to guess an hour and 45 minutes.
Couple of hours?
An hour. 5 days? No way. No. Really? No. Really?
And that's a popular sport.
Wow. 5 days? Okay.
But the T20 format that lasts only 3 hours has become even more popular around the world. There's one thing most Americans still don't know. America has a cricket team, a national team with wins that make us long-time cricket fans stop and say, hang on, the US did what? And they don't know the one name that helped put the American cricket team on the world map, and that is no other than Saurabh Netravalkar, an engineer at Oracle, a musician, and a fast bowler who was at the center of one of the most unexpected results in modern cricket, the United States beating Pakistan. Yes, that Pakistan. A team with legends, with trophies, with decades of history, beaten by the US. If you didn't grow up with cricket, you might have missed that moment. But for us, the cricket fans, we remember exactly where we were. And most of us watched it on Willow TV. For years, Willow has been where cricket lives in the US, bringing the game home to fans from New York to California.
Willow started by these two guys who just loved cricket and felt like there was no way to watch it in America. And had no background in sports and media and broadcast. It rides naturally on the tailwinds behind cricket as a sport in America and the growing influence and interest from that population that cares about it. Pretty much all cricket is on Willow.
And when Willow witnessed Saurabh change the trajectory of American cricket, they didn't just cheer. They chose to tell the story behind it and make their first documentary, The Long Game, a film about Saurabh Netravalkar and the improbable rise of American cricket. And soon, it will premiere right here on Willow TV. While much of America spends weekends grilling and running errands, another rhythm has been quietly playing out. Every weekend, across the country, we gather, we play, we cheer. We debate, sometimes passionately, who really has the best spin bowler. We bring food, families, friends, sometimes pets. It's a patchwork of cultures and accents, united by one shared obsession.
I got into cricket because of my husband. My husband's been playing cricket for, I think, since he was an early teenager. And it's like one of his biggest passions. I am a cricket crazy person. My husband is as well. He's here scoring for this tournament now. It's just the love for the game. We started to watch a lot of the games here after we got married and we had our son. My son is 16. He started since he was 10. He has represented US in under 15 and is next going to try out for U19.
This is my passion here. So I built a team because I'm a cricket-loving guy. I wanted to have a team. We have a team here.
Cricket players and advocates believe this sport could take off just like soccer did 30 years ago. And this is its first big chance to be part of American culture.
By Saturday morning, these parks aren't just parks anymore. They're cricket grounds. Some of these teams have histories longer than the fields they're standing on.
I believe it was in the 70s things were formalized and fields were developed here. Because of the importance of my grandfather, Clifford Severn, this field was named after him, and it holds a deep place in my heart.
These local leagues were built over years, sometimes decades. Players who've grown together, rivalries that reset every Saturday morning. There's a toss. There are lineups, there's strategy. Because once the game starts, This isn't casual. It matters. Some players drive an hour to be here. Some rearrange work and family schedules just to make the start time.
Cricket is something that I'm really passionate about. I started playing when I was 2 to 3 years old. My first coach was my mother, actually.
I have a picture of me playing cricket when I was 2.5 years old. So for me, cricket is very close to God. It's almost religion. So I have an issue with cricket, yes.
My father taught me how to play, and he took me to Lord's. I grew up in London, and Lord's is the home of cricket. It's the original cricket ground.
It was the 1983 World Cup. I was in Saudi Arabia. I was a small kid, and then just seeing that on TV got me hooked.
When I was 5, my dad brought home a cricket kit, and I have 2 siblings, older, and so each of us picked one item. My brother picked a bat, I picked a bat, and my sister picked a ball, and we started then.
Right when I was born, I think my dad put a tiny, tiny cricket ball in my hand and a cricket bat in my hands. He already had decided with my mom to name me after the most famous English cricketer in the world.
2022, end of 2022, I started playing. Once I played one time, I got addicted to it.
I was in a high school in India, and I was just going through the ground, and I saw girls playing cricket, and I'm like, let's go and try it out.
As we look across the field, the next generation is learning it all. They wear the jerseys, they learn the rituals, they master patience. They're not just learning how to play cricket, they're learning how to belong.
When I was 10 years old, me and my brother, we joined an academy. I didn't really like playing back then. I was like the only girl. After a while, I really developed like a loving and a passion for cricket. When I started playing in San Diego, I was the only girl. But now, fast forward like 5 years, there are more than 10 girls, and it's really great to have like a community of girls around you. And I'm really glad that the trend is growing. It has a strong place in my heart, and I think it's definitely like shaped who I am as a person, and I probably will not be letting it go for a long time.
What started as passion is now becoming infrastructure. Across the country, professional teams have formed, backed by investors who understand cricket's global reach. In Seattle, in San Francisco, in New York, in Los Angeles, in Washington, D.C., in Dallas. Major League Cricket is no longer hypothetical, it's here. Behind the scenes, millions of dollars are being committed to stadiums, training facilities, and player development. The T20 World Cup pumped more than $600 million into the US economy. And the people driving it forward aren't newcomers. They're the superfans. The ones watching late-night matches, explaining the rules to curious friends, and quietly waiting for the day when America finally says,
Okay, tell me what a wicket is.
we can wait. Every sport eventually finds its hero. Basketball has LeBron, tennis has Serena, and American cricket has Saurabh.
Today, more than ever, sports is about the people. And the personalities in sport are what drive it. And whether you're following LeBron James or Caitlin Clark, it's really about the people. Yeah. And, I think Saurabh's story is both aspirational and hugely relevant for people because on one hand, his life is as normal as many, many people who would have similar backgrounds and similar life stories. And yet on the other hand, he's a hero. And, that is something both relatable and exciting. And I think that's a story worth telling.
His story, part sports epic, part immigrant journey, is now becoming a film. A story about perseverance, passion, and playing the longest of long games. Behind the camera, the filmmakers are capturing it all. The training, the quiet moments, the cultural crossings. The transformation of a man from Mumbai into an American sports figure.
Through Saurabh's life journey, which started in India, became an immigrant in the United States, went to college here, and has a double life as the star of the cricket team and coding AI data centers for Oracle. It's both a tech story, a business story, and a sports story. A story about having a lot of setbacks in your life and finding ways through them, and ultimately winning the game, which is not the game of cricket, but the game of life.
They talk about legacy, determination, and why this story matters. Not just for cricket, but for anyone who's ever chased a dream that didn't come with a rule book.
In the 90s, after Sachin Tendulkar became famous, all the Bollywood films had boys who wanted to be like him, wanted to be a cricket player. And then in 2000s, the Bollywood films had characters, young boys wanted, or young girls wanted to work in IT. And then, there was a lot of memes about, how Saurabh, has fulfilled these two dreams from these Bollywood characters.
He's an amazing person. He's a deep, competitive person on the field, but he's also very spiritual and detached from outcomes. And that combination of someone who is so driven to win and also be so spiritual and calm about the entire thing is something that is really rare. It's something I actually haven't seen in other leading sports stars.
The one thing that just, shined through was just his humility. If anything, he's, gotten better at his craft, but his humility still shines through.
What we are trying to capture basically with the documentary, trying to shoot in different parts of the world, to show the sports side, and the really great performance, but also as a narrative metaphor for something deeper and also inner. The flow state really embodies that idea, where you suddenly dissolve and you become the observer of the observer, and you almost feel like a third-person point of view, looking at yourself, and you don't feel, there's no thought anymore, you don't feel you're making a decision, you're not the doer anymore.
I think it's very interesting that the film is trying to explore a sub-layer of spirituality, because I think there is a certain level of spirituality, even if people are not very spiritual, that exists in people's lifestyle. Is the way we introduce it in the film. It comes from a space of trying to understand processes and lifestyle and decision making and how Saurabh acts the way he does, and it kind of even helps you deconstruct how he can do all these things at the same time.
This World Cup, actually, I had no expectations. I just wanted to be in the moment. I was completely within the feeling of detaching from everything else. I'm just in my zone in that tournament. I have no expectations. I'm just enjoying every moment. Just looked at the spot, not even the batter. I looked at the spot where I wanted to bowl and just bowled.
We are going through a phase in the life of Saurabh that is very important, and that's what we want to bring to the audience, actually, how his life changed, how he became an idol from a day to the other, and how that's impacting his life as well. And we know that there are a couple of very big events on his life that all his journeys has been brought us to.
The long game isn't just about the sport. It's about patience, dedication, and the strange beauty of believing before the world catches up. In many ways, Saurabh's journey mirrors cricket's own path in America. Steady, unpredictable, and now, finally, cinematic. After decades on the margins in the US, cricket stops asking for permission. It's finally finding its way.
When I first started playing in Northern California, there were 8 total teams. And I would venture to say now in Northern California, between the various leagues, there must be at least 70, 80 teams playing cricket.
The South California Cricket Association is one of the biggest. There are like 100 teams at least, which is really shocking to think about, right? Like 100 teams into 15 players, that's like 1,500 players just across this South California area who are playing cricket on a regular basis.
Clearly we can see in the grassroots level, number of kids playing in the academy, the number of tournaments happening in the country, especially the more and more girls and women's players are playing, has been growing last 4 or 5 years. I can clearly see the momentum is increasing.
To draw back to like my work, you know, a launch, a rocket launch, you know, we start working on it like a decade before it's supposed to launch. So I feel like it's got to be slow and gradual. It's not just going to pick up in a few years, right? But I do see that cricket is moving in the right direction in this country.
So where does it all go from here? Cricket is booming. There's a US league, a national team that wins, a generation growing up with bats in their hands. And now, the Olympics. That's right. Cricket is heading to the Olympic Games. And this time, the US is in the lineup. So the next great American sports story might not come from a football field or a baseball diamond. It might come from a cricket pitch. Because in a country that loves an underdog story, what's more American than finally catching up to a 300-year-old sport?
The red, white and blue of USA has overcome 2022 finalists. The stars and stripes are flying high and proudly in Dallas, Texas. USA beating Pakistan. They deserve this. They played magnificent cricket. Highly unexpected, but highly inspiring. Memories created for many lifetimes to come. It's a story that will be told over and over, as it should be.
So if you're talking to someone who's new to the game, remind them, the next time you hear cricket, don't grab a shoe, grab a bat. Because this isn't just a game anymore, it's a phenomenon. And in America, it's finally making some noise. Still not that one.